Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our installment of Scott Selections here for Sunday, October 17th. For today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up having a very nice day, but we had a lot of plays, so I'll go through them quickly. Middle of the week gave out Alabama minus 16.5 at minus 114 on FanDuel. That won. Then the UFC video gave out Jim Miller to win by submission at plus 260 on FanDuel. That lost as Miller won by submission. Then gave out three plays in the joint college football video. Ended up giving out Ball State money line at minus 118 on Fox Bet. That one gave out Texas A&M Missouri first quarter over 13.5 points at minus 105 on DraftKings. That one gave out Vandy team total under 16.5 at minus 110 on DraftKings. That lost and ended up giving out in the baseball game yesterday in the NLCS game one. Gave out Dodgers and Braves race to 6 runs neither at minus 105 on DraftKings, and that was a sweat-free winner. So overall, went 4-2 for plus 1.63 units. A nice day overall. Look for another winning day here on Sunday. And for the play of the day, we're going to be looking at a matchup in the NFL between two teams that really not many people care about unless you are from that area. It's going to be between the Bengals and the Lions, and that matchup's taking place at around 1 p.m. Eastern time. And we look at player prop. We're going to be looking at the Lions, and there is a rookie wide receiver that I do think has a lot of value at the current number, and it is Amon-Ra St. Brown over 50.5 receiving yards at minus 118 on Fox Bet. Time recording of 2 a.m. Eastern time. Coverings why I like the over in the spot. First of all, 50.5 is too low compared to the rest of the markets. You have the same prop for receiving yards for St. Brown at 53.5 on FanDuel. So you're saving 3 yards just by shopping around, paying about an extra 10, 13 cents, which I do think has a lot of value each and every time. But looking at the Lions, I don't know if this is really roasting the receiving core or just talking about how good St. Brown is. But right now, he's the number one receiver on the depth chart. And he was originally number 2, but Quintus Cephas is now on IR. So they did lose another key weapon out there on the outside, which means that St. Brown should be getting a pretty decent amount of targets in this matchup. Now, looking at the last couple of outings, or last couple of games, I should say, St. Brown has been really, really involved in the offense. St. Brown has been targeted 8 times in each of the last 2 games. And he has recorded at least 65 receiving yards in each of those 2 games. And believe it or not, Jared Goff, starting quarterback for the Lions, believes that St. Brown should be even more involved in the offense. His exact quote, he's done a great job, and I think it's our job to get him more involved. He's a guy that, as a rookie, does not look like a rookie, end quote. So when you're getting rave reviews from your starting quarterback and he tells the public to get this guy the ball, I do think the Lions will game plan around that, and I do think that Goff is going to look his way a decent amount because St. Brown clearly has his trust more than any other receiver on the depth chart. But you want to look at the Bengals secondary, and spoiler alert, it's not very good. They have a couple of injuries they're dealing with, and the main cornerbacks for this game are Chidobe Awuzie, Mike Hilton, and everyone's favorite corner, Eli Apple. So, yes, they have a pretty underwhelming secondary right now. The safeties are fine, but the corners in one-on-one coverage should get absolutely torched. I know Devontae Adams is arguably the best receiver in the league, but you saw what he did last week when he had 200-plus receiving yards. I do think 50.5 is a little bit low for the number one receiver facing off against the likes of Awuzie, Hilton, and Apple. I think they're going to end up moving St. Brown also across the formation. They'll throw him in the slot. They'll throw him outside. But in a dome, so weather's not going to play any factor whatsoever, I do think that he'll eventually get enough targets, probably 8, maybe even more, probably finish with 5 or 6 receptions, maybe for even, I mean, if you're wishful thinking, 100 yards, but probably 70 in this spot. But against that secondary and with potentially good game flow, if you think the Bengals end up winning this game pretty handily, Bengals have been a very solid team. Lions have been struggling. So if you think the Bengals blow it open, then garbage time should also help out. But at the end of the day, you're having a very talented wide receiver who's been blossoming in this actual system, who also has the full support of his quarterback. At 50.5 against such an awful secondary, I do think this number should be a lot higher, and I think there's a lot of value because of it. So the play that I, once again, here for Sunday, October 17th, is going to be on Amon-Ra St. Brown over 50.5 receiving yards at minus 118 on Fox Bet. Bye, everyone.